Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to work on a challenge on the RangeForce. So if you don't know what RangeForce is, basically it is a platform that allows you to practice your blue team skills, and it provides a wide variety of the courses. And today we're going to work on the SOC Battle Pass, SOC 2 Battle Pass, since I have finished the Battle Pass a while back. So let's getting started. So the challenge we're going to work on today is under the SOC Analyst 2. Especially if you're a SOC analyst, this will be really beneficial to you. But we will going to work on this Suricata challenge. If you don't know what Suricata is, basically it is a very good IPS system. It is a very popular open sourced IDS system. So you definitely need to spend some time to learn it as a SOC analyst. So I have already started this challenge. So let's getting started. So once you started this challenge, it will gives you this nice virtual teaching assistant, and it will guide you through this challenge. So let's going through the scenario very quick first. Basically you are basically the instruction says there is a small team of scooter in use STs located in this location, and the team is extremely proud of their new Angel's Scooter website. It is already available to online visitors, and the moderators already update content on the site. You are responsible for managing and operating a firewall machine that sits in the front of the web server. The company does not have a SOC team yet, but as you have some experience with firewalls and IT security, you take it upon yourself to keep the server safe. Overall of the infrastructure is available in the topology tab, and you know the basics of the Suricata, so everything should be okay. So basically you need to write in the rules preventing the ongoing attacks that is happening on this website. So let's look at the topology first. You see that we are at this desktop, we are at here, and basically we need to we have this firewall over here, and we have this server over here. So there is an ongoing attack is going on right now towards our website. So let's going to take a look for the website first. So one thing about RangeForce is really nice is that everything you needed is already included in this instruction, and basically you can click if there's a website you need to go, it will be available in the instruction. So we see that we have this website, and let's getting started. So basically here we have we need to it says like any other day you log into the firewall and monitor the Suricata event log. You notice on your request to the Angel's Scooters website. After a quick inspection, you realize that someone is attempting to attack the website. Using vulnerabilities in the web application, you notify the Scooter Club immediately and start blocking the attacks on your end. The tricky part is trying to block the attacks without blocking normal user traffic. It is a good thing that Suricata is already configured as an IPS and running with NFQ listen mode. Basically, we need to configure the Suricata as an IPS and writing the rules to blocking the ongoing web application attack. So let's just so the instruction here is very clear. We need to connect to the firewall with the SSH, and on the host name firewall student as the username and the student as password. So let's do that for now. So we can SSH into that to that firewall first. Okay, so I do not need to enter the password for some reason, but I'm already in the firewall. So let's do a quick verify. We got this IP address, this .6.4 IP address. So we are on the firewall now, and our server is under attack. So we need to updating the rules on the firewall, because the firewall also running as an IPS, so we need to writing the rules for the Suricata. So let's check the Suricata event log. So basically, there's a log in the IPS where it will records all the web traffic towards this website. So we need to inspecting it and writing the rules based on that logs. So let's just inspect it very fast. So what I usually do is I'm checking my notes, but so I would do a cat first to get a feeling what is going on in the logs. So this log is a live log. So if you use tail, basically you can get last several lines for these logs, but I want to use cat in this case because if I do it in the monitor it in the live session, it will be really hard for me to locate the attack. So I'm going to do it with a cat. So going through the logs, we see that there's definitely something weird going on. So clearly we see that under the URL part, we see that there is a URL over here, the red flag etc/password. So this is something, if you guys not aware, this is actually a directory traversal attack. So it is, I believe it is part of the OWASP top 10. I don't know. So I'm not sure if it is the OWASP top 10 directory traversal. It is part of the OWASP vulnerability. It is called path traversal. So basically you have this so the attacker, basically the web application did not perform enough filter input and escaping output. So this allows the attacker to traverse the path and reading the sensitive information on the server, such as the password file. So how can we stop this? Well, so the instruction actually gives us a very good hint. So we have this Suricata rules file over here. So we need to write rules in that file. So let's open let's just create our file on the local machine first. So we can touch our rules, right? So we got our local rules over here for a testing purpose. So what Suricata rules basically looks like is that you can basically looking up the their website official documentation for getting ideas how this rules works. So So basically, you can have so this is an example for one of the rules you can create. So basically, you can have this alert over here. So this is the action you want your Suricata to take. So in this case, we have the alert, but for the case on the RangeForce, we need to make it acting as IPS. So we're gonna use drop. So we can drop it, and the second field is here we see that we have the HTTP. So but in our case, that is the protocols we want to block. So in this case, it's actually we say that the protocol is a TCP, HTTP. So we can do either case. We can use HTTP or we can use TCP. So in this case, I'm going to use TCP because I did this challenge before and I have notes. So my notes says TCP. So and you need to specify the direction between these two so the next part is the direction. So we see that we have the home net any and the direction so the direction is from this host and this port. So here we have any port to this external net. So external net is destination, and we have this any port. So just remember that here's IP port, direction, and destination, and port. So in our case, since we are trying to block that malicious traffic, we can use any because we want to block the we can block all these IP addresses comes in. So I'm looking at my notes. So we block the any source port to any destination port, and the next part is that you can give a message here that here it says Trojan likely fake antivirus download ws.exe. So basically this part is that you are reading alert, and the message shows on the alerts will be defined over here, so that if you have the security analyst, they can look up this message and get a feeling what is going on the IPS and what kind of attack is going on. So we need to define a meaningful message over there, so our future analyst can see that a message. So let's define a good message. So we can say pass transversal, right? So pass transversal attack blocked, right? So back to our examples. Here is much more advanced usage, but in our case, we only need to specify the content. So I'm going to specify the content over here. So the content. So basically, the content is the part of the HTTP requests. It will block. So if any of the content matches the content we defined over here, it will be blocked. So the content we want to block is actually that malicious string, malicious URL. So we can copy paste that part to our content. So we have this defined over here very nicely, and And the last part, because we were only doing this at the basic level, so we don't need to any like we don't need to define any offset or the depths. So we only need to define this content, and the last part we can jump straight to the SID and the REV. So basically it's ID. So each rule you define, you need to give it a unique ID and you need to give a revision number. So basically this is like a version number for your rules, because if you ever change your rules, you can update your version number to, like, we have the version 1 over here, but if you update your rule, you can update to the version 2 or version 3 in the future. So we can define our rules as 10001, right? So we can define our version as version 1, right? So you need to give this semicolon to stop these rules, and we can save it. And there is another attack actually going on in this traffic. So if we're going to inspect it, so there is actually a malicious backdoor. It's being installed on our server. So basically you need to block that file and excuse me, sorry. So basically you need to block that file and trying to block it. So we see that over here that at this timestamp over here, we see that we have this source IP going to that destination IP, and we see that here we have this URL, this URL over here. This looks like legitimate at first, but we see that we have this HTTP user agent as cur /7.58.0, and we got this this outside IP address, this public IP address. So usually we have this user agent as cur. That might be something, either is a bot or either is something malicious. So actually that is part of the attack it is going on. So I'm going to write a root block this request to our web server. So let's writing a rule for it. So basically this is a backdoor. This is like a web shell was installed on our web server. So the attacker is trying to using the cur request to making the post request to executing a command on our server via this images.php file. So what we need to do is we need to also block it. So since I already have this rule already, so I'm gonna to copy paste it, and we just need to slightly modify it to adjust into the case. So we do not have to change any source port and the destination port. We only need to change this message. So we can give some meaningful message. We can say that web shell blocked, right? And we can also give a content over here. So the content, we can see that because the ID could be changed as always, because the attacker might executing the different ID every time. So we want to block this images.php because images.php it is not a legitimate file that was exist on the website. It's basically the attacker uploaded this malicious web shell, so we can block it, and it will not affect the legitimate traffic from the normal user. So we got this rule over here, and we want to give a unique ID number, and the version number can stay as 1. So these are the two attacks going on our web server, and we can copy paste this to our IPS Suricata rules rule files. So let's do that. So we have this rule over here. So we can go into our firewall very quick, and we can clean the terminal, and we can sudo to our as a root, because I believe you need to be a root to change the rules. So we can open it, right? So we can copy paste the rules to our Suricata rule files. So everything seems correct, and we're gonna save it. So what's happening right now is that the Suricata will going to update the rules, right? So and it will be the greeting the rule might take up to 15 seconds. So let's just wait to see if we get the rule back. What I believe we also need to update the rules as well. So let's say there's a command you can actually use to sorry guys, so to update the rules on the for the Suricata. So the command is Suricata reload rules. Yep. So we updated our rules, so the Suricata will load our local rules to the IPS engine, and now we can check on the logs to see if our rule has actually been applied. So let's see. So we got this. So basically in the log, Suricata log, we have this fast log. It will give us what's happening on the Suricata. So we see that our rule is actually taking place now. It successfully blocked the ongoing attacks. So we have this path traversal attack blocked. This is matched with what we defined over here. And from this source IP address to this destination IP address, and we have this web shell blocked from this IP address to this destination IP address. So that is for today. This challenge is actually really fun challenge, and I highly encourage you guys to go in to check out the RangeForce platform. It's really helpful, especially if you're a SOC analyst. I think these trainings will be really beneficial for you, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you guys next time.